Well, this is Colorado, and Colorado kind of has a pulling problem recently. We have Sydney skiing. Likes to... So we need to work on getting his respect back together again and working him that opposite direction. So there we go. You got to get him moving. There we go. All right. So he's kind of fighting it right now. You've got to give him a release. There you go. Give him a release. So we're trying to get him kind of overbent right now, but we need to have him giving in on the circle. There you go. He's just not liking it too much, but we have to give him a little extra bend. So we're just using a halter, and we have the lead rope, or the lunge line, running from the saddle through the halter. And basically all this is doing is giving us a little extra bend so he can't throw his head and try to escape to that corner. Although you did see he can successfully do it. However, the nice part about this is you get them to start following the feel and start giving that nose in on the circle. And you do this on the ground, so when you're actually riding them, they understand to follow the feel and actually move that nose and work towards balancing a little bit better. Okay, now that you've got him going along pretty good, let's see if we can get him on up to a canter, please. Now he's kind of resistant, and as you can see, he started out on that outside rein. See, he's on the wrong lead, so you need to get him back down to a trot. There we go. Now try to tip his nose in, and when he starts to tip his nose in, that's when you want to ask for the canter. All right, ask, suggest, demand. Add a little demand if you need to. There we go. Now he also did the same thing. Look at how he managed. There you go. We got to get a little bit smaller. And what he's doing is counter cantering. Okay, so slow him back down. That's not going to work very well for us. We need to make a little bit of a smaller circle. There we go, until we get the correct lead. So see how his body isn't in balance right now? You need to make sure that you get him balanced up and tip your hand up when you ask for the canter. There you go, to lift that shoulder. And then, there you go. Although, he still managed to counter canter. So we need to get him a little bit smaller. Nope, go back. It's a little bit better. There we go. Now we got him moving on the correct lead, and he's moving better. He's still pushing his body really far out. But what you want him to do is to lift up on the inside shoulder. So, oops, there we go, bring him back in. Bring him back in, and there we go. Get him going. The thing that Colorado needs to get used to doing is having kind of a constant feel on his mouth. So what we have is we just have some very loose side reins. Now Sydney is actually lunging off the halter. If you can see, she's lunging off the halters, not the side reins. And so he's just kind of getting used to the way that that feels on his mouth right now. So if we want to, we can start tightening up those side reins a little bit later, but I like to have them on a nice low setting just to start out and just to get him going around. Thank you so much for joining us on today's ride. And if you want to see more about Colorado, check out his playlist. And remember, if you haven't already, please subscribe.